Have you ever found yourself constantly seeking someone's attention, even when you know deep down you deserve better? You're not alone. Many of us have been there, chasing after love, apologizing for things we didn't do, or bending over backwards just to feel wanted. It's a painful place to be, and it can feel like you're stuck in a cycle you can't break. But why do we do this? Why do so many people end up begging for love, even when it hurts? Why is it so hard to just walk away when we know we're not being treated the way we deserve? The reasons are complex and they run deep. One of the biggest reasons is the fear of being alone. Loneliness can feel overwhelming, and the thought of solitude can be scarier than staying in an unhealthy relationship. Sometimes we convince ourselves that any company is better than none, even if it means sacrificing our happiness. The silence of an empty room can feel heavier than the weight of a one-sided relationship. Low self-esteem is another powerful force. If you don't truly believe you're worthy of love, you might settle for crumbs, accepting less than you deserve just to avoid being alone. You might compare yourself to others, thinking you're not good enough and that you have to earn someone's affection. This mindset can make you feel like you have to constantly prove your worth, instead of simply being loved for who you are. When your self-worth is low, you may believe this is the best you can get, and that you don't deserve more. Emotional investment also plays a huge role. When you've poured your time, energy, and heart into a relationship, it's hard to let go. You remember the good times, the shared memories, and the dreams you built together. Walking away can feel like throwing all of that away, and the loss can be hard to accept. The more you invest, the harder it is to leave, even when you know it's not right. Then, there's hope for change. You might believe that if you just try harder, things will get better down the line. Maybe you think your partner will finally see your worth, or that the relationship will magically transform. This hope can keep you stuck, always waiting for a breakthrough that never comes. You tell yourself that if you're patient enough, loving enough, or forgiving enough, things will improve. Our attachment styles also shape how we behave in relationships. People with anxious attachment often fear abandonment and crave closeness, sometimes to the point of clinging. This can lead to begging for love, attention, or reassurance, even when it's not reciprocated. These patterns often start in childhood, especially if love felt unpredictable or conditional. Societal and cultural pressures can make things even harder. We're surrounded by messages that tell us we should be in a relationship, that being single means something is wrong with us. Family expectations, cultural traditions, and even friends can make us feel obligated to stay even when we're unhappy. The fear of judgment or disappointing others can keep us trapped in relationships that don't serve us. The fear of starting over is real. The idea of new beginnings can be intimidating, especially after a long relationship. The comfort of the familiar, even if it's painful, can feel safer than the unknown. You might worry about dating again, meeting new people, or rebuilding your life from scratch. This fear can keep you holding on, even when you know you should let go. Past trauma or abandonment issues can shape how we approach love. If you've experienced loss, neglect, or emotional pain before, you might fear it happening again. This can make you cling to relationships, even when they're unhealthy, because the pain of being left behind feels unbearable. Old wounds can make you believe you have to work for love, or that you're not worthy of it unless you earn it. Picture this: you're always the first to text, the one who makes plans, the one who says sorry, even when you did nothing wrong. You start to feel like you're walking on eggshells just to keep the peace. You might even start to believe that if you just try harder, things will get better. Or maybe you find yourself waiting for hours for a reply, making excuses for their behavior, or convincing yourself that if you just try harder, they'll finally love you back. You might tell yourself that things will change, that they'll see your worth if you just stick it out a little longer. But here's the truth: begging for love is exhausting. It drains your energy, your confidence, and your sense of self. The more you give, the less you seem to get in return, and the emptier you feel inside. Real love isn't something you have to chase or plead for. It's not a prize you win by sacrificing your happiness or dignity. When you're in a healthy relationship, love flows naturally. I know people who spent years begging for affection, always trying to prove they were enough. But the moment they walked away, something incredible happened. They started to heal. They found their confidence again. They realized that walking away wasn't a failure. It was the first step toward freedom. They realized their worth wasn't tied to someone else's approval. They learned that love should feel safe, calm, and mutual, not like a never-ending audition. They started to rediscover joy in their own lives, reconnecting with friends and passions they'd neglected. If you're in a relationship where you feel like you have to beg for attention, affection, or respect, please know, you deserve so much more. You deserve to be with someone who values you, who listens to you, and who makes you feel seen. Your value isn't determined by how hard you try to make someone love you. You are enough, just as you are. Start reminding yourself of your strengths, your kindness, and your unique qualities. There are people out there who will appreciate you for who you are, without conditions, without games, without making you beg. Healthy love is about mutual respect, trust, and support. So if someone makes you feel like you're too much or not enough, walk away. It's not your job to convince anyone of your worth. The right person will never make you feel like you have to beg for their love. You are worthy of love that's freely given. The right person will show up for you just like you do for them. Until then, focus on loving yourself. Stop chasing fake love. Start choosing yourself. Every time you choose yourself, you get stronger, more confident, and more at peace. Trust me, your heart will thank you. You'll look back and realize that walking away was the bravest thing you ever did. Remember, you deserve love that feels easy, safe, and real. Don't settle for less. Choose yourself and the right love will find you. And if you ever feel tempted to beg for love again, remind yourself, real love never asks you to beg. You're enough, just as you are.